So I wanted to take some time here to upload my thoughts on the Resident Evil 4 dubbed Chainsaw demo, which was released yesterday. And this is a very quick, fast demo in terms of the actual length of it. I played it for about 30 minutes, and at the end it said that I had played for 20. And I did doze off during the actual run of it, although that was because I was tired, not because the game was boring or anything. But as far as the actual gameplay goes, this is Resident Evil 4. This is Resident Evil 4 like you've never seen it before. There are a few things that they added that I thought, and that I've been saying for a while now, were good additions. Great additions, actually. The first is the inclusion of stealth. Stealth is a mechanic that you can freely enter at will. And from what I've noticed, just playing around with the stealth mechanic in the actual game, versus just seeing gameplay footage of it, the stealth seems to only appear in scripted moments throughout the game. The enemies during the newer sections of the game, they will actively seek out any potential intruder, basically anyone or any target that does not belong, which obviously includes Leon. And so they implemented this crouch button that you can freely enter and exit out of. And Leon's movement speed is obviously capped while you're in this stance, but he actually moves kind of quick when crouched. And I think that was a wise choice. They're not trying to make it, super realistic by trying to make him move too slow. Another thing I noticed is when you actually take out one of the zombies, the physics system seems to have been improved. So like when you run over one of their bodies or whatever, there's a realistic reaction. You can actually feel the weight of them. And I don't think I've seen that in a Resident Evil game before. So I think there's a new physics system that they added, and that just helps make the game feel a bit more modern. Another thing is the core movement speed. The game didn't feel too slow, and it's extremely responsive. Like, they got it down perfect. Like I said, this does feel like Resident Evil 4. Even the sprint mechanic, it feels natural. And there's two different ways to activate it. Obviously, the first way is to just click the left stick, but you can also tap the shoulder button. One thing I did like is that when you're surrounded by enemies, the zombies are actually very terrifying. They're very threatening when they're huddled together in a group and they have you surrounded. There was several moments where I was surrounded by zombies and I could not really go anywhere except to either drop down from the rooftops or to go back into a house, find shelter to take cover, or to go back onto the rooftops. And so when you're surrounded by enemies in this game, you are very vulnerable. And that is definitely a classic trait of Resident Evil 4. That's something that they took from the original and inserted it into this new game. Something strange that happened to me in this is that I chose to go where the cow is. There's like a little barn over to the right-hand side of the stage in that little village square. There's a light that's fixated above the cow, and if it's shot down, then the cow catches fire, and it's supposed to run into your enemies. However, this time, when I ran under the barn, the light somehow got knocked down without my input. The cow caught fire, and instead of chasing after the target, I guess it started to chase after the only thing that it was close to, which was me. It started to chase me outside the barn, and that surprised me. It didn't catch up to me, but I thought that was something unexpected that happened. And as far as the scenery goes, I think they added some more rural locations outside of the village that didn't exist in the original Resident Evil 4. And so it appears that they're actually going to expand the game in certain areas just to give players a different view that they didn't have before. And I think that's very smart, very wise of Capcom to do something like that. All of the core locations from the game they're going to retain in there, but they're also going to add in new areas that didn't exist in the original. And I think the demo is a good preview of that. And the art direction is splendid. The same goes for the graphics. What I didn't get to see in the demo is the parry system. I'm very curious as to how the parry system works in the game. I'm not sure if it's going to be available in the main game from the very beginning, or if it's something that's unlockable, or maybe it was in the demo and I just didn't notice it. I only played it once before this recording, so I have to go back and check it out again and see if it's actually in there. But just judging from my first playthrough of the demo, I didn't notice the knife parry system. It's probably in there, but I just somehow missed it. So, but yeah, this is definitely Resident Evil 4, which is what I've been saying the entire time, long before this demo was even released. And I think Capcom has something very special on their hands. This felt like a proper recreation of the original in all the best ways possible. So I'm definitely looking forward to the full, complete release when it launches later this month. And I still intend to cover this game, the full game, sometime after release.
Él nos invoca. Tenemos que servir. Al Lord Saddler Todopoderoso.